This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Jewel Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. The Finance, Trade and Foreign Affairs Ministers Tuesday appeared before parliamentarians to respond to the Public Enterprise Committee's report on audited financial statements of state-owned enterprises and the Trade Committee's recently conducted market study tour. Now, ahead of the much-anticipated Summit of the Future to be held at the UN headquarters in New York this weekend, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has renewed his call to global governments for more action and reforms. On Tuesday, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, TANGO, organized a day-long pre-summit of the Future Dialogue ahead of Saturday's Summit of the Future. Now, the Executive Council of the University of the Gambia Debate Association held a joint commemoration of Mental Health and Menstrual Hygiene Day at the university's Carnific campus on Monday. In international news, we explored the African pavilions at the China International Fair for Trade in Services, which concluded in Beijing on Monday. These and other stories coming ahead. Do stay tuned. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, the Finance, Trade and Foreign Affairs Ministers Tuesday appeared before parliamentarians to respond to the Public Enterprise Committee's report on audited financial statements of state-owned enterprises and the Trade Committee's recently conducted market study tour. Usman Jatta tells us more.
The ministers' response session is a crucial step in reinforcing the accountability and performance of public sector enterprises to achieve greater efficiency and transparency in government operations. Tuesday's session began with Finance and Economic Affairs Minister C.D.M. Keita, who informed the Parliament on the financial statements of public enterprises including NAWEC, GAMTEL and Social Security.
The process for rationalizing NAWEC's banking relationship was planned and implemented through a banking services tender process, which ended up reducing the number of banking relationships from 13 banks to only 3.
Responding to the Finance Minister's presentation, Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, Honorable Yahya Menteng Sanyang, recommended the privatization of state-owned enterprises.
Our SOEs is always very disheartening and it is always below average performance. My advice to the government of the Gambia is now to start the privatization approach of all the underperforming SOEs.
Trade Minister Babukar Ojuv addressed the Parliament on the Trade Committee's latest conducted study tour to verify the prices of basic essential commodities. Here is Minister Juv's feedback.
In regards to the fluctuation of commodity prices, this is not unique to the Gambia, and it's as reported in many of my responses. It is mostly a reflection of the volatility of the global commodities markets, and the Gambia, like many net food importing countries, is vulnerable to the external shocks.
The member for Bakau, Honorable Hassan Sise, quizzed the Trade Minister to justify his statement that Gambian businesses are given more opportunities by the current administration.
The Enterprise Development Fund does not include anybody who is coming from outside. Gambians are given priority when it comes to this kind of thing.
The National Assembly member for Lower Fuladu West, Jibimbalo, took issue with the Trade Minister's submission.
Minister, I want to tell you, we go on study tours as National Assembly members. We understand that government create businessmen to able to do. How many of those businessmen are you creating as a minister?
In a separate development, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Mamadou Tangara, filed a motion to consider visa exemption agreements for diplomatic passport holders between the Gambia and Azerbaijan and Indonesia.
It's a diplomatic accord aimed at facilitating travel between the two nations for individuals holding diplomatic or service passports. NAMS welcomed the motion but asked the minister to include ordinary passport holders to the visa exemption, amongst whom are students and businessmen. Here
is Minister Tangara's response.
You know, today, the biggest challenge that the whole world is facing is migration. So taking such a decision to open up and allow each and everyone to have access without visa will bring them major criticism.
The ministers outlined a series of measures, including tighter financial controls, enhanced audit processes, and increased oversight to restore confidence in the management of public enterprises. The Assembly is expected to follow up with further discussions and evaluations. Usman Chata, reporting for QTV News.
Now, with less than a week to go, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed his call to global movements for more action and reforms ahead of the much-anticipated Summit of the Future to be held at the UN headquarters in New York from the 21st of September. Usman Jata again.
The Summit of the Future is an important step in the journey to build stronger and more effective international relations. It hopes to offer an opportunity to update and reform global institutions to reflect and respond to the geopolitical and economic realities of the present and the future. Antonio Guterres, United Nations Secretary General, called for more meaningful actions ahead of the Summit of the Future.
We need maximum ambition during these final days of negotiation, because the challenges we face are moving much faster than our ability to solve them. Ferocious conflicts are inflicting terrible suffering. Deep geopolitical divides are creating dangerous tensions.
The Gambia will submit a position paper at the summit. This crucial document reflects the concerns raised by young people in a recently concluded National Youth Consultation, which saw over 200 young people from across the country take part. The UN chief believes that 21st century challenges need 21st century solving institutions.
I appeal to all governments to make sure they are as ambitious as possible to restore the hope and trust we need in order to address the dramatic challenges of our time with a new global consensus. Excellencies, the Summit of the Future is an opportunity for far-reaching agreements on international collaboration for a safer, more sustainable and more equitable world. Let's seize it.
Here is Salimata A. Toure, Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service.
We commit to presenting a statement that reflects the aspirations and interests of the youths we engage with over 2 days. Together, let us forge a united front as we prepare for the Summit of the Future and beyond. Confident in our ability to achieve the ambitious goals we have set for our nation.
The Summit of the Future will produce an intergovernmentally negotiated, action-oriented pact with chapters on sustainable development and financing for development, international peace and security, science and technology, and innovation and digital cooperation, youth and future generations. Usman Chata, reporting for QTV News.
Still on the Summit of the Future, on Tuesday, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, TANGO, organized a day-long pre-Summit of the Future dialogue for civil society organizations and others ahead of the Summit of the Future in New York this weekend. Loli M. Kamara attended the opening, and this is her report.
Ahead of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA 79, scheduled to take place from the 23rd to the 25th of September 2024 in New York, TANGO and stakeholders including CSOs, community leaders, women groups and policymakers converged for this pre-summit of the Future Dialogue to gather insights and innovative ideas from experts to address critical issues and work towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Sire Bakurin is the Executive Director of TANGO.
Prior to going to New York, it's always important to do in-country consultation. There was a civil society conference regarding the Summit of the Future in Nairobi in May, where they also contributed, civil society contributed towards the Pact of the Future, which would be the main outcome of the Summit of the Future.
The Summit of the Future is a high-level event that will bring world leaders together to forge a new international consensus on how to deliver a better present and safeguard the future. Yadi Konjai Eribo, chairman of non-governmental organizations, points out that civil society organizations play an essential role in advocating for transparency, accountability, and inclusiveness. Thus, their presence at the Summit of the Future can act as a counterbalance to the influence of vested interests and ensure that commitments made are genuinely in the interest of the global citizens.
Our participation in the summit will ensure that our strategies are holistic, responsive, and grounded in a real-world experience.
At this pivotal moment, civil society leaders, human rights advocates, journalists, and intellectuals from diverse backgrounds must intensify their partnerships to amplify the progressive efforts of the United Nations as the world navigates a significant period of transformation. Serim Falunjai, a development advisor at the Office of the Vice President, and Binta Barry, national economist at UNDP, both highlighted that even though progress and achievements have been made, a lot more needs to be done to meet the SDG targets.
There are three things that we need if we want to see progress in the world. One is the need for peace. If there is no peace, there cannot be development. Therefore, the world must resolve ongoing armed conflicts through dialogue, diplomacy, and also prevent future conflicts.
With UNDP support, the government of the Gambia is crafting the Integrated National Financing Framework, INFF. This framework builds on the creation of sector working groups and multi-stakeholder financial dialogues and revises the Gambia's Development Finance Assessment, which is the DFA.
By bringing together diverse perspectives and expertise, facilitating CSO cooperation and dialogue on NDP and SDGs, and updating stakeholders on the summit's progress, the conference hopes to find effective solutions and create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
The report by Loli M. Kamara takes us to a commercial break. When we return, we have local and international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Ready to jumpstart your tech career? At IIHT Gambia Limited, we offer a variety of in-demand courses to equip you with essential skills for the tech industry. Our programs include Diploma in Information Technology and Cybersecurity, Cisco Certified Network Associate and Network Professional, Advanced Diploma in Software Development, Diploma in Multimedia, Graphic Design and Digital Marketing, Diploma in Database Administration and Technical Support. Whether you're starting your IT journey or looking to advance your career, our expert instructors and hands-on learning will prepare you for success. Don't wait. Enroll today and transform your future. Call us at 701968 or 3464161 or visit us at 55 Kairaba Avenue, adjacent to the U.S. Embassy, Fajara, Kanifing Municipality. Learn more at www.ihtgambia.gm. IIHT Gambia Limited, connecting talent to opportunity.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. The Bertel Harding Highway is transforming transportation in the Gambia with new roundabouts and vehicular overpasses. But safety must come first. Standing along the road or at roundabouts to flag down taxis creates unsafe conditions and unnecessary traffic jams. Remember, always board taxis at designated taxi garages or the garas, located at major traffic points. Drivers stopping in no stopping zones will be penalized. Let's keep our roads clear and safe. Together, we can ensure a safe and efficient journey for all.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News, and now to the rest of our stories. The Executive Council of the University of the Gambia Debate Association held a joint commemoration of Mental Health and Menstrual Hygiene Day at the University of the Gambia Kanifing campus. Amadou Tamba was there, and this is his report.
The commemoration brought together students of the University of the Gambia and the front units in mental health and menstrual-related institutions. The joint engagement sought to raise awareness among youths of mental wellness while combating period poverty in the Gambia. Mr. Mamadou Gassama, a representative of the World Health Organization, says there is no health without mental health and called on people to desist from stigmatizing those with mental health issues, saying everyone has some form of mental health, as it is not only about disease.
So more than 50% of the burden of mental illness are hooked to two conditions. And this is the anxiety, they will tell you, and also the depression. So the world loses $47 trillion every year as a result of mental health conditions.
On menstrual health interventions, which was the other focus of the convergence, Mr. Gassama says that the WHO's wish is to move from menstrual hygiene to menstrual health.
They can really make you uncomfortable, your own peers. And now your family, the school environment, the university. Again, you need facilities for this. And the World Bank, not only WHO that speaks, the World Bank is saying nearly 500 million girls and women who are under this, who really have this, who undergo this process, menstruation, they don't have access to the basic services.
People suffering from mental health should be integrated in our society and safeguarded from abuse and have the right to equal opportunities. Lamin Barrow of the Department of Psychiatry at the Ministry of Health says issues ranging from the unanswered questions that play in one's head leading to an event are all factors of mental health.
If you find yourself in your menses dilemma, you know what dilemma means, right? You don't want to, you don't have a solution to a problem. You are in a, can I do this, can I do that? Becomes a double or multiple play inside your head to find a decision. That's a dilemma. When it becomes ethical, it is two important things you don't know which one to choose from, and they are all good. Then it becomes ethical.
Mr. Mahmoud Ujasi of the Ministry of Health's Mental Health Program Unit, who represented the Minister of Health, reiterated the need for everyone to collaborate to eradicate mental health stigmatization.
To this end, we must integrate mental health care into reproductive health services, ensuring that menstruating individuals receive comprehensive care that address both their physical and emotional well-being.
Dr. Habibatu Drame is the Director of Students' Affairs and Alumni at the University of the Gambia.
According to the World Health Organization, 1 in every 5 people experience mental health issues at all levels. This could be as a result of many, many factors.
Other speakers at the event included Momodou Bite, President of the UTG Debate Association, Awa Bojang, the Vice President of the UTG Debate Association, Vincent Gomez of Help the Mentally Disabled Association, Jenaba Toure, among others. The symposium was followed by a visit to the country's only psychiatric center, Tanka Tanka, where the group donated clothes, food items, and sanitary products. For QTV News, Amadou Tamba.
Now, the Netherlands, co-funded by the European Union, has commenced the second Horsemanship Training for the Gambia Immigration Department officials at the Banjul International Airport. Lena Igwenyiba reports.
Horsemanship, which is the art of hospitality encompassing friendliness, quality, and customer care, is the focus of this week-long training. Facilitated by the Dutch Ministry of Interior, the training targets selected ambassadors and supervisors at the airport responsible for border control. It aims to equip these immigration officials with essential skills in customer care and hospitality applicable to air, land, and sea borders. Here is Ibrahim Mboub, the Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department.
The training will support and rebuild the already guided principle of good morals, ethics, and code of conduct as inscribed in our national law of the Public Service Commission and the Code of Conduct. However, to be blessed with such a training is vital, and hope to have it furthered to another level in providing high sense of quality service delivery.
Lara Melser, Senior Advisor at the Ministry of Justice and Security in the Netherlands, explains why the Dutch government is investing in this initiative.
Our agency truly believes that collaboration is key in the context of migration. And to be successful, we need to work together in partnership. In this context, over the last couple of years, we have been intensifying the relationship between your service, the Gambian Immigration Department, and our service.
Building on the success of the first training, which took place in the first week of June this year, Mariama Nyang, the Commissioner of Banjul International Airport, encourages participants to maximize the benefits of this second phase.
As we all learn that horseman training is the act of making somebody welcome, somebody to feel that he is important, somebody to see that we have valued the person as we interact with passengers and other people we work with. So it is beneficiary for us to take this training very key so that at the end of the day, we will be more effective in the execution of our duties.
Tim Daniel Krap, First Secretary at the Netherlands Embassy, praises the Gambia's horsemanship.
It's so important also for the Gambia that they have a good impression. And I really think it already shows that even without the horsemanship training, Dutch people are really enthusiastic about the Gambia. So for example, we right now have about 300 Dutch citizens who've chosen to stay in the Gambia and work here on economic development or social development. And so they're making a real contribution to the country. And I think that's thanks to the great impressions they had of the country.
The Gambia is the third African country to benefit from this horsemanship training, a reflection of its reputation as the smiling coast of Africa, known for its warm and welcoming people. As the saying goes, people may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Iguanyuba.
The report there takes us to news beyond our borders. Now, the China International Fair for Trade in Services concluded in Beijing on Monday. Jana Basonko explored the African pavilions at the fair, and this is her report.
Africa's beautiful and diverse culture was showcased at the China International Fair for Trade in Services, where we explored various African pavilions. The trade fair was created in 2012 and has attracted close to 200 countries and regions. 9 major areas were covered during the trade fair, such as culture and tourism, education, health, sports, telecommunications, information and supply chain, as well as business. At the Nigerian pavilion, one of the highlights on display was the drum. The drum plays an important role in many African societies in accompanying dances at events, connecting people through rhythm and sound, amongst other functions. Oyita De Victor, an exhibitor at the Nigerian pavilion, shares his excitement in being able to showcase his culture in China.
It's good to showcase our culture so that it will not go extinct, and it's going to be like a legacy. Because China is a place of cultural heritage. So, yeah, I'm just trying to promote my culture in China. Maybe the ambassador to China, to Nigeria, should maybe invite yearly to those festivals and to be able to learn some things too, because our culture is very rich, starting from the drum, starting from greeting, starting from food, starting from different things.
At the Ethiopian pavilion, freshly brewed coffee is served to all visitors. Ethiopia often referred to as home of coffee, has a long-standing tradition of coffee production, and Ethiopian coffee is renowned for its rich and unique taste. Reports show that China's direct investment projects in Ethiopia reach about $4.8 billion. Here is Muntaha Jamil Said, Plenipotentiary Minister, Ethiopia.
It is long time since Ethiopia and China has got a diplomatic relation. It is more than 50 years. And also this level, it reaches to the standard, the highest standard of relation, that is always a strategic partnership. And we are promoting our agricultural products and other manufacturing products to China. Because China is a big country. Number of population which is equivalent to all Africa, and we have a big opportunity for market, a big opportunity for investment, a big opportunity for tourism. If we use this opportunity, even for technology transfer, if you use this opportunity, I think Africa has a good futurity.
The China International Fair for Trade in Services is described as the only all-inclusive international level fair dedicated to trade in services in China. It covers the 12 service areas defined by the World Trade Organization, WTO, and is the largest trade in services exhibition in the world. During his opening remarks during the FOCAC, China's President Xi Jinping pledged that China would open its markets to African agricultural products and that products from most of the world's poorest countries, including 33 in Africa, would be exempted from all tariffs. China is Africa's biggest trade partner, with trade between the two reaching $282 billion in 2023. Reporting for QTV News from Beijing, I am Jenna Bosonko.
Well, this is all we have time for. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.